Hello and welcome to this session on referencing. Referencing is really important to show that you've read and understood all sides of an argument based on the subject that you are studying. Whether you're writing an assignment or a report or a presentation, it doesn't really matter. What is really important is that you acknowledge your work is based upon that of others. So where you've used the work of others in your work, you need to signal that. And you signal that by putting in a citation, perhaps in your written work, or making a reference to it using a footnote format, depending upon which referencing formatting you are using. So a common referencing formatting is called the Harvard system. And the Harvard system requires you to use the author's surname and the year of publication as a citation in the text, in your text that you have written or the presentation that you're making, especially if you're using other people's information directly, for example, a graph, a table of figures, or a quotation. You would put that citation very close to where you use the other person's work. So for example, if you want to quote Winston Churchill in an essay that you're writing, you would put the quote and then put the citation at the end of the quote, perhaps. A list of references would then be required at the end of your essay or your report, or perhaps in the footnotes, to explain to the reader where the information you used has come from. So it might be a website, a journal, a textbook, a TV program, a newspaper, a technical report. Doesn't really matter. What matters is that you have formatted the list of references to give the reader all the information they need so they can go away and find the source material that you used and took that quote from, or the other material that you've used in your work. Another really important aspect of good referencing is to show that you have read around your subject and you've gained a broad overview of all the sides of the argument for your subject. So you probably have your opinion about a subject that you've been given and asked to write an assignment about. But how did you form that opinion? Well, you normally form an opinion by listening to the opinions of others, by reading about it, perhaps a textbook, perhaps journal articles, perhaps you looked at a website, perhaps you watched a TV program about it. You've taken all that information in and you've been critical and evaluated and analysed that information and have then generated and formed your own opinion based on all that information from other people. So when you use referencing in your work, it shows that you've done all of that. You've gone away, you've found the information, you've absorbed that information, and you've turned it to insight and knowledge by critically evaluating and analysing all sides of the argument. So that's really, really useful to identify in your assignments and written work, as well as your presentations, because it shows this just isn't your opinion, but your opinion based on the opinions of others and the evidence and the data and the information that you've found in all those sources of information that have helped form your opinion. So you really need a good set of citations in your written text, in your main body of work, and at the end, perhaps in footnotes or a separate list of references with all the details of the original sources that you used throughout your work. So it's wise to ask the academic, the departmental staff, or perhaps your university librarians, which is the most appropriate referencing format for you to use, because different subjects, different universities use slightly different referencing formats. So Harvard is a typical one for science and engineering, but there are plenty of others. So to sum up, referencing is a really important thing for students to do, both in their written work and in their verbal presentations. It shows that you are widely read and widely knowledgeable about all sides of an argument. It also shows that you can physically hunt and find relevant information, can synthesize it and analyze and evaluate it, and come up with your own conclusions. And you can take perhaps sometimes relevant data and information from other people and weave that into your own work, adding value to your own work and building upon the knowledge that we have on that subject. So thanks very much for listening. I hope that's helpful. Please like down below this session if you would be so kind, and look at my channel for other sessions about different academic subjects. Okay, thanks very much. Bye for now.